Shuffle. Alright, all I need from you is for you to place your hand on the deck and think of the things going on in your life right now. Do I have permission to read for you?
You do.
Let's do it. So the first card's going to tell me a little bit more about you. Let me get to know you, and then we're going to go from there. Okay. You've been very patient to get where you were to where you are now. We do see, for the most part, you're hanging in there. You want to have more control over your life in general. We do see you've been working extra hard on your mental health and working on a healthier and positive outlook. And specifically when it comes to like your family, there is a need and a want to go elsewhere, to start elsewhere, but there's no definitive plans to move. There feels like concrete cement hardening right now, and you are slowly trying to chip away at that. Where do you want to go?
That is more so, in a sense of going, is just want to experience more than the state itself.
Okay. Well, a lot of it is like this feeling of stagnation, like you're being successful, you're going through the motions, you're doing what you should be doing, but it's driving you a little bit crazy because there's so much more that you want to do, but life had other plans for you, or though you feel that way. So you've had to put a lot of stuff on the back burner. Eventually, you'll be able to expand upon those things. Kids grow up. You'll have a second freedom after all of that. So start planning things now, putting money aside for those things now, so that way you can eventually go off and do the things you want to do, go explore. I don't know why crystal mining pops into my head, but it does. Caving, spelunking, nature. Do you work from home?
No, I do not.
That is most excellent. You would hate it. For the most part, it looks like it's going really well. It goes from being the Page of Pentacles to being the Queen of Pentacles, which is an upgrade, as obviously not in gender, but in ranking system. And you have a pretty good relationships with your friends and coworkers. It seems like you're overworking yourself. Are y'all eventually trying to get a bigger house?
Not necessarily a house, more so an additional means to the house.
Okay. Completely understand that. You're going to get there. It's just going to take another moment. There's also... What do you do?
I am a project coordinator for a construction company that deals with concrete and storm drain pipe.
Concrete. That's funny. They're going to ask you to take on more responsibility, and it'll be up to you whether or not you actually want to do that. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of months they do that, especially since the prices of everything are going up. They're going to ask you to be the one to help them analyze everything to cut costs.
Look at me.
I don't need to look at you for anything. You are standing to the side, validating everything we talked about on the drive up here.
I think it's funny that concrete came up. I hate and love the little weird quirks that comes up with doing readings. In your personal life, you feel like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing for the most part. At some point, did you want to be a nature documentarian?
No, not.
I see you in national parks. I see you going and exploring. I see you traveling a lot. And right now, obviously, it feels like something's blocking that, and that would be having children. But in the long run, we see you planning more things and doing a lot more exploring.
Okay.
Don't get lost in the caves. Your bad habit is procrastination.
At times, yes.
I actually think that it serves you well because it allows you to take a step back and analyze everything 2 to 3 times and overthink them before you actually go through with them. And that's more of a superpower for you than an actual detriment. It's gotten you where you are now, and it's making it to where you're moving forward. I do think in 10 to 11 years, you're going to end up changing jobs dramatically, something that you genuinely want to do. It's undecided yet. It just comes up as the Fool. What else do you want to look at?
You know what? How about we continue and see where it goes?
Sure. Well, the next natural progression for me would be relationship stuff. You'll eventually grow up out of the people-pleasing. That's all I'm going to say as far as that goes. In the relationship aspect, it seems like you feel like your movements are restricted a little bit because of relationship stuff. However, the payoff is immeasurable. It's excellent. Going from being poor, not having as much, to working your butt off, you have both the 2, 3, and 4 of Pentacles. Your hard work is paying off as far as that goes. Sometimes you feel you have some attachment style stuff going on where you kind of pull back because you get really busy. You don't really know, you kind of feel directionless at some time, but you've been working really hard on communicating how you feel in different aspects of that. I do see a longevity with this relationship. It's just also dependent on her. This is not nothing that I say will ever be a dig in any way, shape, or form. Is she bipolar?
No.
Okay, there's something going on with her, and eventually she goes through some sort of great metamorphosis, great change. The Tower card is a card of destruction, but it's really the universe like pulling the rug out from underneath you. And I don't know in what aspect of her life it is, especially since like it shows you having kids. You only have 2 kids right now?
Correct.
If you don't want another child, use protection. But we definitely see like there's a lot of longevity. You've worked on your half of the aspect. How is she at communicating?
Abysmal. In terms of verbally, in terms of methods via writing or any style of that, it's still very much lacking.
Well, the only way to get better at it is actually practice and do more. We do see, if she were sitting and asking questions, I would tell her that she should start writing creative stories. And that will help with how she communicates with other people. Because whenever you do creative writing, it allows some of the subconscious to slip through. The second thing I would probably say is you'll need to do some marriage counseling as far as communication goes, even if it's just having somebody that you both trust act as an intermediary. I do see that there's a lot of frustration here, and there's a lot of things that you feel like you've had to give up, but there's still things in the background. There's still things that you want, your future that you want still can happen. It's just what directions you'll choose to have and choose to go down. I don't think y'all are getting divorced. I think that you feel like you're stuck with her, and that feeling will stay. And it's more than just staying with the kids, because you do care about her. You just wish for consideration. Bonus card. As for the future of this relationship, we do see over long term that there is a lot of like working on communication. At some point in time, there will be an absolute breakdown of communication. There will be a couple of times where y'all just stop talking to each other for a couple of days. Does she use a silent treatment?
No.
Excellent. Then y'all are going to be great. You do get your wish. You do get to work on the relationship, even though it is very stressful. I need you to start taking some time for yourself. You need to sleep. You need a better sleep schedule. And you need to take care of yourself, which means eating 3 meals a day, drinking lots of water, a little bit of exercise will do you some good, and go from there. Overall, the relationship is like any other relationship. There's positives, there's negatives, but if you continue in the direction that you're going now and nothing changes, it's going to stress you out to the point where you're going to want a legal separation. So there are things that you need to work on, specifically tempering your own expectations a little bit and not stressing yourself out because y'all are stuck together. So don't stress yourself out, get some more sleep, focus on things that you want to do, and I think everything will be fine.
All right.
What's this business idea with friends that you want to do?
You're doing it right now.
Delightful. It is going to take 6 years to get everything up and off the ground. That doesn't mean you aren't going to start. It just means it's going to take 6 years for everything to come full cycle. But after that, it is going to go great. The Nine of Pentacles is about good setting up oneself and good connections and having the foresight to deal with problems. We do see that it will have you contemplating leaving your work, but I think that you end up doing both of them either way because one of them is really good money, especially whenever you're moving up and they're going to ask you to do some traveling with that as well. But also, like, the opportunity to do so with friends, and as long as you have time management, it'll be great. Yeah, it's exactly what you should be doing. It is going to require you to cut some things out eventually, but not really worried about that right now. It is something new, something different. I think it'll be fun. I think that it'll be fulfilling for you. I think that important choices are going to have to be made regarding what direction y'all want this project inside business to go in. I don't foresee it being like one of the big ghost hunting shows. Not going to name any of them for legality's sake, but I think that it will be fulfilling in its own right. I'm not sure how much money it'll make, but it'll do great. Then the last thing we'll look at is what's coming up for you in the next 6 months to a year, and the main things you should pay attention to during that time.
All right.